Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our channel. It is a Tribe Called Dhillon podcast. I'm Angie Dhillon.
And I'm Rose Dhillon.
And I'm Alvin Dhillon.
We're back in the house. We get so excited when we do our taping days. If I could please kindly ask you for a big favor there, if you can hit that subscribe. I can't talk today. If you can hit that subscribe button so we can help to grow our digital family, it would mean a lot. And let's be real. We are your favorite trio of siblings, are we not?
Yeah.
So please go ahead and hit that subscribe button and help us grow our channel. I'm like in tongue twisters today.
I know, but I like it. It's fun.
I think it's maybe because I'm super excited about the content we're going to talk about, but we're going to leave it on a cliffhanger right now. We're going to get into our win of the week segment. Please think about your win of the week. I want you to reflect on your win of the week when we talk about ours, because together we are going to be a force to reckon with. And when you win, we all win. Over to you, Al.
Win, 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 win.
Fuck, I forgot my win.
That's a great one. Leave it. Okay, good. You should leave that there. So Al forgot his win, and that's okay. Sometimes
So then I'll go.
Right.
Because I have a
And that's
solid win.
that's us being authentic.
Can I take your win out while you're ready to get yours ready to go?
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's good, Al. You wrote your win down. See, because sometimes you get bogged down in the week. I'm starting to write mine
Me too.
down
I
as
wrote
well.
that mine down because
There's-
I had so many.
Good.
Too much winning going on
Yeah.
over here. I forgot.
Good. That's a real authentic moment here.
Both
You
हो
saw
गया.
it live here first. See?
Yep.
Both हो गया.
So sometimes I usually try to come in the day before we're ready to tape. I usually go to my parents' house and I'll spend the evening with them, and then in the morning get ready to come taping. And so last night I was hanging out with my parents, and my beautiful Indian parents love Indian Idol. And so I heard this song as I was typing in the room, and I was like, oh, I've heard this song in so long, and I couldn't remember what the song was. So I came out into the living room, and Rekha is a famous Indian actress, and god damn, she is aging so well. I mean, I was inspired by her. I was motivated by her, and I was elevated by her. She went on stage. She's 69 years old. She went performed to one of her iconic songs that she did. She was on the stage rolling around and giving encouragement to all the kids that were singing. She was just this ray of light. And it's really funny. I go, Dad, she looks, and she's taking care of herself. Red lipstick, hair, makeup. She looks on point. Mom goes, yeah. She has no stress. She's not married, no children. I was like, sold. I like that. I like her living, that whole thing. Women get old and they're single and they're the cat lady. She is far from the cat lady. She's inspirational. So Rekha, if you get to see, I'm going to make an actual clip out of this. I hope you get to see this, and I want you to thank you, because you're inspiring women of all ages to say, hey, life doesn't stop because you get older. Keep going after your dreams. And so seeing you on Indian Idol inspired me. So thank you.
That's amazing. Rekha is iconic. And also, and there's nothing wrong with those cat ladies. At least they're taking care of cats, right?
I like this on Taylor Swift. Remember, the cat on my lap. I love them.
Yeah,
I hear you.
I agree. Al, you go to your win, because I need you to grab my win, because it's just hanging there. We didn't want to put it here on our set. So you go ahead with your win.
My win is I would say actively, I usually read books and they're always self-help books, but I actively started now trying to catch my thoughts. So consciously listening to my unconscious thoughts, I guess. I heard that on, I think it was Joe Dispenza, or it was one of those guys at the top that I kind of in my circuit that I listened to. And it's like the only way you can really change your thinking and your reality is you got to stay on top of it. You got to see when your mind starts going to the negative side, or you start complaining, because it usually starts with complaining. Something irritated you, and then it kind of spirals into you just complaining about everything and nothing's going my way, and it turns into some sort of victim mentality. So I've really been conscious about, okay, if I start down this road today, I'm already complaining about one thing. I'm like, this is not going to be a good day. I was like, I got to stop here, ignore it, leave it. I can't change that, move on. And I've been trying to actively nip things in the bud. Otherwise, I find myself at the end of the day just complaining about certain things that I have no control over, like the weather or the environment I live in. So that's what I've been doing.
Good for you. I love that.
That's
It's hard to do it.
It is hard. Yeah. I almost start wondering, am I the only one that keeps having all these negative thoughts all the time, or just wanting to complain about everything? But then I started doing more research, and they say, well, did you know that out of the 60 to 80,000 thoughts that you have every day, most of them are negative. It's a good 60%. Yep. And he's like, we're hardwired like that, because it's like a survival mechanism that come into our brain, that we haven't adapted to all this technology and this lifestyle, especially if you live in North America, where you're not worrying about bombs and a war and whatnot. So it's a work in progress, but I'm choosing to, I don't want to be a negative person. I can't be around other people like that. So if I don't want to be around that, I don't want to be that person that's going to be putting that energy out.
Woo, Ooh, that's a major win.
that's a good
some
one.
introspection.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, that's a great
It's a good W.
self-discovery.
Yeah.
That's a great one. Do you find that when you start to challenge the thoughts now that they're kind of powerless now? They're like, wait, you're challenging me?
I found that when I start challenging it, my body's trying to be like, no, I'm going to go back to the way it was before. It's almost like my body wants to go back to homeostasis of like you being negative. Like that's what, and generally I'm a positive person. People will say that, but if I'm by myself, I'm hard on my own self. And I go down this path of like, oh, why am I not in this position? Or why am I not doing? I'm like, I got to just stop that. Like, I got to live for right now, the moment today, because tomorrow's not promised. And I can't worry about what happened yesterday. So I just got to keep rolling and try to be the best person I possibly can, because that's who I want to hang out with. I want to attract that in my life. I want to manifest more positive people. I got to put that energy out.
Yeah, good for you.
Good for you. You got another solid win.
I know.
Yeah.
This is another solid because
Going all the way up.
I've been sitting here mesmerized by your skin right now.
I was
Thanks.
doing the same thing. I couldn't
What are you
concentrate on
taking?
you. Your skin looks
And
amazing.
I don't want to say it on our
Good
podcast,
old
but I
shave.
feel like I want to say what I called you when we went shopping
I
a
know it was
couple
the
weeks
worst
ago.
name ever.
Why don't you tell that
We should
story?
tell the story. We should tell that story.
Tell
Yes.
the story of what I said, because right
Embarrassing.
now he looks like that.
Yeah.
DEWIE word or DEWY. I'm not looking.
Yeah.
at him, right.
Yeah,
But he
so-
looked like
This is awesome. I love this.
Doesn't he look at him? Oh my god. Okay.
So we had our Dr. Shiv got us on this glutathione injection. So it's supposed to be really good for you. It's supposed to help flush your kidneys out and whatnot. So you got to do it every week for like a good month, and then you can taper off to like every 2 weeks after that. So after about a couple of weeks of doing that, I did feel like my skin was getting better, and I was like flushing stuff. I was like, oh, I'm feeling more energetic. So we went to the States to visit Rose for a day trip, and we said, okay, let's go check out TJ Maxx. So we go in there shopping around. It's pretty dead quiet. I think it was a weekday, so not too many people in the store.
This is a couple of us went with.
Yeah, there was no music going on in the store, so it was pretty quiet. And I'm there by myself, and all of a sudden I hear from like an aisle over around the corner, "Hey Al, your skin is looking real dewy." And I pause, and I'm hearing this in the air. Hey Shiv, come over here. Come look at Al's skin. He looks so dewy. Wow. And I stopped, and I was like, what the hell are you doing? And everyone in the store stopping and looking at me like, what the hell? And I'm like, first of all, that name is a really dumb name. Like, Dwayne The Rock Johnson's real name is Dewey. And I've heard it on the show. I was like, this is a terrible name. And I'm like, why are you saying this stuff out so loud to like announcing in front of the store? So as I'm walking around, you kept saying it and like almost annoyed me. And everyone kept staring at me. I was so irritated.
But it was a
I was like,
compliment.
first of all, what the hell is Dewey? Why don't you say your skin looks fresh? Or
Well,
looks
it just
vibrant?
dewy, but
Because girls want to look dewy.
Right.
We want to look dewy.
I've never heard of that term in my life, dewy. Only time I've heard is when you go out early in the morning and the grass has dew on it.
That's what it.
Yeah.
But that's what there's that drink Mountain Dew, right? It's
I would prefer the term fresh because dewy just sounds weird.
Fresh is just when people wake up fresh. Like you just looked very hydrated.
Yeah.
And
Next time, just use the word
moisturized.
vibrant.
But
I'll take that.
it was some element of like to
I'm
me.
pretty sure people thought my name was Dewey.
I love when they came home because I was working. They came home to tell me the story, and Al reenacted the whole story out loud. And I was like, "Listen, I'm grateful that Ange did that because otherwise we wouldn't have this joke and this story right now."
Yeah.
So thanks, Ange, for.
And I'm trying to walk away, and she keeps saying it louder and louder, just to annoy me.
And the other reason now I run with Dewey is because we all have nicknames for one another. Like Rose is Rod because when she was younger, she had the Rod Stewart haircut.
But we shortened her to Stewie for a while.
Stewie.
Yeah.
'Cause we were trying
And
to
Al is
Stewart.
like Bean because when we were younger, my grandparents couldn't say Alvin, so they would call him like Al Bean, and it just became shortened like Bean, like a kidney bean. And they really couldn't come up with any names for me. But then they've got like Angle for me because my name's Angie, and I come at all different angles. And so those are our names. And I never really have like any creative names for any of these, and then or any that will really irk them. And then when I said Dewey, I noticed that every time I'd say Dewey, I'd get this negative reaction from Al. I'm like, that's a big win for Big Sister now because Dewey is back.
I hate that
and
name.
Dewey's
I don't
here
know what
to
it is.
stay.
It's like even for a child, it's such a dumb name.
But see,
Dewey.
he's giving up his power.
I
to
think
me.
it's the fact that you said his skin, and everyone looked at his face. Probably started looking at his skin.
And
so
then
I
you
was
should have
like,
seen there were guys.
Who the hell's Dewey over here?
But doesn't he look so hydrated?
Yeah, Al, you do.
So
Your
you
skin
gotta
looks.
glow.
My hyaluronic acid
This
is
is
also
like me.
working.
I honestly not gonna lie. If I just reduce my sugar by 50%, it's like within days I notice a difference. I'm like, whoa, That's a big difference of less sugar.
Yeah, we're actually going to be talking about glutathione.
We're getting that injection today.
Yeah, we are going to talk about glutathione in the new year. We call him Dr. Shiv, but Medical Director Shiv will be in the house talking to about the latest health trends and what's happening. And here's my win, because I'm so excited I wanted to show you. Okay, here's my win. We have to show it this way here. Thank you.
Wow,
Okay.
Angie, that's beautiful.
So this is one of my, as we know, Indian outfits are very expensive here. Thank you, Vanna White. And so what I've started to do now is take old Indian outfits and repurpose them and remake them. I've always had an eye. I can't sketch or draw, but I've always had an eye for fashion and putting pieces together or adding this piece, remove that. So this was a really, really long lehenga. It was so long, and I didn't want to be like, those girls that go sometimes to Indian weddings and you're like, are you the bride, but you're not the bride? Drives me nuts when girls do that. And this was one of those outfits that it's like, if it's someone's engagement, it's just too much to wear. And I said, well, what can we do? Took it to my tailor, and her and I sat down and I said, I have an idea. Can you cut this? So we cut this. So it's actually more of a...
It's a two-piece now.
It's like a two... Well, it was always a two-piece, but the skirt was very long. It was like... It went down to the ground. So I got her to cut it just above my ankle. So it's almost like a taffeta skirt now. So what we did is we took... I need your help, Al.
I'll help her. It's a little heavy.
It's heavy. You have to hold it. You have to hold it so I can show them. I'm going to have to stand up because I'm struggling right now. But I'll try and be close to the mic. So what I did is this here, as you can see... Now it's shorter. This was all the way down and it was kind of dragging this. I couldn't walk. So what we did is there was too much tulle. I cut out some of the tulle. I took it out, moved it here to kind of get that flare now. So it's like a taffeta. Sarah Jessica Parker when she wears those dresses, Sex and the City. And then what we did is with the extra material from here, which we cut off about 6 inches, I got her to add sleeves. And I said, I want sheer sleeves because right now that is the look. So we kind of chopped this up here, and then I picked it up this week, and then she gave me the excess material, and I thought, well, what can I do with this? Maybe in a couple of weeks' time, I'm going to take it back and somehow kind of get the dupatta part and add this as a border or something to revamp this outfit. So I was contemplating, should I sell this outfit? What should I do? And I thought, you know what? It's such a beautiful color. And a lot of times when you go Indian, to the Indian stores, it's very hard to find certain colors. And I'm like, let me just bring, basically breathe fresh air into this outfit. And this is my win of the week.
And can I add, that's also going to be my win because after she wears it, I get to wear it.
That is the true story. Rose, as I disclosed on a previous episode, makes a shitload of money, makes more money than I do, but goes and borrows all my outfits. And
you have good style. You have good style for that stuff. I don't have interest when it comes to these things. I don't know why when it comes to Indian attire. I'm pretty confident there's a little white girl that lives inside me. I just can't be bothered with it.
She's a coconut.
Yeah, I'm definitely a coconut. So she goes through all the fashion trends, all the magazines. She's up to date with everything. I don't want to use that energy when she's so good at it. I'm just going to borrow what she's.
Yeah, and then she gives me a $25 Starbucks in lieu of a Starbucks gift card, and it's a win-win for everybody.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. The outfit might have cost her 10 times that amount, but
yeah, what it cost me, and then I think I probably would have made my money back. But just that satisfaction of creating your own creation, I felt like a little mini designer. I was like,
you are a designer.
Thank you. And I'm like, I've always had this interest in piecing outfits together when there's a wedding in the family or any occasion. I start planning my outfits, the jewelry, the shoes a week in advance. And as you can tell, I've lit up here because
you're a girly girl, Ange. I love that about you. I'm steering away from that. I was telling Al last time, I'm like, God, I'm starting to become a dude. I got to be careful.
Mm-hmm. So that was my win of the week. And I hope you were able to reflect on your win. Let's get into today's topic. It's timely. All of us have been there at one point in our life where we've had to resort to online dating, some form of dating website to find love, to look for love, or some of you might still be trying to find love. So we want to bring bring light to catfishing, ghosting, and dating because these are all real things. And just most recently, I learned the term ghosting and catfishing, and why they call it catfishing, I don't understand because it has nothing to do with the actual word as a cat and a fish. So I'm confused about that. But I want to get right into today's topic here because we've all been there.
Mm-hmm.
You're back there.
I'm back there.
I was back there after I got divorced. And I'm telling you, it sucks.
You know what? It's overwhelming. It's not bad. And it's probably a little too good for the ego as well. I think it feeds the ego a little too much. The constant
swipe left, swipe right.
Getting matches. You're like, oh, I still got it. It's not good. Not good for someone like me. But yeah, I'm back at it. My cousin convinced me that I need to get back on the horse. And so in June, she was like, all right, you have to go online dating. Let's be real. You work from home and you travel all the time. Where are you going to meet someone? You don't have that kind of time. Time is valuable. Get online. I was like, I'm not doing it. I can't do it. She's like, how can I convince you to get online? I was like, I got it. I'll make it a project for the podcast. I will write down all the observations. I'll take notes. She's okay. Whatever it takes to get you on that's what we got to do. Then that's what it'll take. I joined in June. I mean, it's November. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't have any interest in dating. I don't know what it is right now. I'm on a different season of my life where I'm really just dating me and really enjoying dating me and going down the self-discovery path. But I will say, some of the things that I see on the app, some of the messages that I get are a really good laugh. And I'm going to actually share one of them, recent ones here.
So you haven't met anyone quality?
No, I'm going to say to you, there's some really amazing people on this dating app. I will be honest with you. Some really wonderful, nice gentlemen. There's nothing wrong with, I think, them. Kind of like what Taylor said, I'm the problem, it's me. I'm realizing that it's just not my time right now. So I'm not really there, but there was this one gentleman that just stood out to me, and I got to find that one. But Angela, I'll let you go into something else because it was a really cute message.
Or how about we talk about that when you first set up your profile, you said,
oh, yeah.
You know what? How about we get a guy's perspective on this? So I'll ask you the questions and you answer it.
That a big mistake. And now I know when I get to our stats.
Like I say, I'm a proud man child. I gave the answers from like how a single guy would be, and if he doesn't really want to settle down and have some fun and just go with the flow. So I gave him my answers, and she started wondering why. She's like, wow, I'm getting a lot of hits on it. She's like, everything you're saying is so funny. She's like, I'm getting a lot of feedback, but it seems like these are all really younger people that are trying to message me, and they all seem to be like the 20 to 25 range. And I was like, well, what did you expect? I'm answering all your questions from a guy's perspective. So they're probably looking at it as like, wow, this is a cool chick that just likes to have a fun party. So
okay, see, this is the problem.
I'm going to add, so one of the parts on the dating app says you can put your voice and you can say something. And so I go, I'm too legit to quit. I can't believe how many guys are, that's awesome. Oh my God, I love it. And that's when I was like, oh, so the effort I put in is exactly the effort I'm going to get back. Yeah. For the whole, I was like literally till a month ago when I was like, my matches are not quality matches. And I was like, when I looked at my answers and I went, oh.
But I got
I was like, what do you expect? I'm actually just winging it. Like, I'm just like,
see, and this is once again why big sister has to come in and be like, what is school these two? Like, what are you guys doing? You can't be doing that. And I have a cool stat I'm going to bring up right now into the segue.
But before you do, I'm going to read the actual one of the people saying, there are some really nice people. So listen to this one. Yeah, I'm not going to laugh. Okay. You're the type of pretty that I would sit next to on a plane ride, but be too nervous to say much, then regret it the rest of my life because your beauty would always stick with me.
Wow, that's a great ego booster.
Wow, that's what I mean.
That's why you're on there.
Curated.
Yeah, that's because we check her all the time. She has to go on the dating app for ego boost.
I really do.
So here's the thing. Okay, I want to bring this stat up here right now. So did you know, and you can go online and find these stats. This one's from datingadvice.com. So over 53% of Americans fabricate parts of their dating profile. My sister is an American. She's one of that 53% because Alvin, my brother, answered her question. So she fabricated her answers. Guilty as charged.
I didn't lie. I just, you
fabricated.
Al just said like, what's your favorite something ice cream? I'm like vanilla ice cream. It was like just dumb answers. Favorite. It was just dumb. Like my answers were really like juvenile. That's what it was.
So North America.
That's exactly what they were doing.
North America, this is the problem there.
But I didn't lie about anything major. Like I didn't lie about my age. I didn't actually I didn't put all the details of like my line of work and the podcast. And that's because Dr. Shiv said to me, don't tell them you work in sports and entertainment. I was like, why? That's going to intimidate them. Oh yeah, don't tell me you have a podcast. That's going to intimidate them. I'm like, don't tell me you own a home. That's going to intimidate. I'm like, for the love of God, what can I tell them? He's like, pretty much nothing. Yeah.
But you don't even like ice cream and you put vanilla ice cream.
I know.
What? You like tuxedo cake?
Like I said, to actually open this account took me 6 weeks from the time that our cousin was on top of me every week. Have you opened it? Have you done it? She held me such accountable. I'm not going to lie. She was great. It was literally like June 1st when I finally was like, open.
I wish you had saved those answers of the questions.
I did. I wish I did too. Shoot.
But here's my...
After you read them back to me, I was like, man, these are awesome. I was like, what did you expect me to get? These are like total like, hey, we're just going to hang out and have some fun answers.
Yep.
Yeah. But this is the thing. Don't let anyone... You get peer pressured a lot.
No, you know what it is? She had a point. I understood what she wanted to come from. She was like, I want you to find love again. I want you to be in a relationship again. And I think a part of me thought I kind of wanted that very much as well. So I was like, yeah, you're right. I should do it. But it's one of those things where I'm just not there. That's all it is. Yeah.
And I think that the big thing also is, this is something that I felt when I went through my divorce and I had to go back. And bear in mind, when I got married, there was no social media. And when I got divorced, the social media was just, social media was full on. So imagine me, I'm like a deer. Is it called deer with headlights?
Yeah. Deer
caught in headlights. I had no clue what I was doing. But the thing is, when I got divorced, I didn't want to go out and date. I wanted to just be independent and just soak in what happened, process everything. But it was all these external people. Everybody around me wanted to go and date. And I finally just said to everybody, leave me alone when I'm ready. And you know what I did? I dated myself. And that is the best piece of advice I can give to everybody, because we are a society that just rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. We date somebody, it doesn't work, rinse, repeat. And we keep doing the same thing. We don't learn anything from any of these relationships or take the time to say, why did this relationship fail? Like, what did I do? What part did I kind of have? Or was it just not a very nice person? Or, whatever it is, we just didn't click. But if you actually pause and take a breather between dating people, it's so much more healthier. You're going to grow more as an individual, and date yourself. Take the time to enjoy your own company, what you like to do. I can tell you, when you go back out and date, you're going to attract quality over quantity,
100%.
And you're just going to be a better dater. And you're doing yourself a disservice by being a serial dater. Like, don't do the rinse and repeat cycle.
I love that. I'm going to add to what Anne said, because I think I spent most of my life chasing boys and wanting that. And now I was like, I don't care. I don't need it, nor do I want it. And that's where the season of my life is, that I'm not really that motivated by that, because I've done it all. And like Anne said, I'd rather take the time and really get to know myself, take accountability with what I like to say is maybe I have a broken picker, and really figure out what part of me is drawing in these kinds of matches and these kinds of people. Because I know that I did that before, which is in my 30s and 20s, I would get a relationship and then just jump into the next relationship.
Yeah.
And I didn't take time to process. And when you go to a place where you become desperate, and I've been there, you draw in a fellow desperate person as well. And two desperate people with not healthy attachment styles who haven't worked through their stuff is a recipe for disaster. So I agree with Ange's, which is don't listen to people. I got the exact same advice, which is like, oh, you're not over it? Get over it and date. And I'm like, God, I really don't wish to divorce on you, because it's a painful process, and trying to put a bandage on a wound that's so deep is really just it's gonna backfire at some point. And I don't care. I'd rather be single right now and do the work, because when I'm later in life, when I'm older and I really want companionship, I really hope that I don't have to kind of reap what I sow. I'm reaping it now, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah. And I think just to add to that, Rose, I know that this is like dating, ghosting, catfishing. We're going to get to Al, but we're just going to touch up on divorce. If any of you have ever gone through a divorce, it's hard. And they say that you're supposed to tack on 1 month to deal with every year you've been with a relationship. So if you were in a relationship for 10 years, that's going to be equivalent to like 10 months of healing. So don't just come out of a divorce and just go boom, go start dating anyone. Divorce is like death, man. You're grieving that person that was once in your life, because it is almost like a roommate, right? Because it's someone that was always with you. You had a routine. You built a life with this individual. And when all that comes to an end, for whatever reason it may be, sometimes it's just two really good people that they're not the right match. And there's someone else for that match, for that individual. But there is a grieving period that you gotta go through. You gotta, grieve that relationship and, make peace with it, say your goodbyes before you get back out there. So it drives me nuts when people don't understand the level of pain, hurt, suffering, the guilt, whatever it is, you feel like a failure. And we're a society that, as I said before, our celebrations are on things that are so silly, because to me, I feel that our society praises and celebrates those that are just in relationships. It might not even be a healthy relationship, but they got a companion. So that's successful. Oh, you're still single. Oh, you're still single. It's been 5 years. What's going on? Oh, you're still single 7 years. I know Alvin gets it all the time. And to me, if you're single, but you're happy, that's success to me at the end of the day. Because you could be in a relationship and still be alone and be lonely. You're better off sometimes being by yourself and being alone. At least you're not lonely. You can enjoy your own company.
Yeah. And I don't think people emphasize enough on toxic relationships. If you are in a toxic relationship just for the sake of being in it because you're afraid of what society is going to say, that's not a win-win. That's a lose-lose situation, because not only is your mental health getting affected by this, your physical body will take a toll. So, just to be in this relationship for the sake of being in a relationship is the worst thing to do. Like Anne said, if you really spend time with yourself and date yourself, I'm beyond confident when the time is right, I'll meet the right person that's meant for me and to go down this journey with. I'm just not in a rush anymore. For the first time, I'm okay with God's creating him and he's out there somewhere. And when the time is right, the two of us will collide, and I'm beyond confident it'll be a wonderful match, because I'm doing the healing. I'm healing the wounds of the divorce, of the childhood triggers, of the traumas that I'm carrying forward. I'm doing my part so that when I get to meet this person, I come not fully healed, but at least being on that healing journey.
Yeah. And we're going to get to Al, but I can tell you, I spent a couple years online dating, and I finally gave it up. And I'm a hopeless romantic. I kept telling everybody 2 stories. I'm going to meet the guy when I go through the grocery aisle, and he's going to be like, what? Hello? Or I'm going to be pumping gas. Everyone's like, everyone does online shopping now and groceries. I'm like, oh yeah, that's a problem. Okay. Right. And they're like, nobody pumps gas because now people have electric cars. I'm like, yeah. Okay. Well, the universe is just going to send me someone, and the universe did send me someone. So I can tell you it does work. Yeah. Al, over to you. You're still young. You're a spring buck. Let's show your guns. Yeah. He's in the prime of his life, everyone.
Al, you are the top 3% of American men. Only 3% of American men are 6 feet. Did you know that? That's a very small percentage. That's why the dating is so skewed.
Yeah. He's in his 30s. My brother's in his 30s. And remember the dirty 30s? And he's in the prime. So walk us through from a perspective of a guy. What's it been like? The catfishing, the dating, and the ghosting? Like, what's going on here?
I've done my fair share of the online dating, the apps like the Tinder, the Bumble, and all the other stuff. I've tried it, but I did find when I did try it, it seems like for guys to get like matches, you got to pay. Like you've got to, otherwise you're kind of at the bottom of the list. There's times when we'd be on it, and because it's like a numbers game, I don't even see who the pictures. I would just sit there watching TV and just keep hitting the like button for like a half hour because it's just you got to filter them after. I would just sit there and just go, I wouldn't look. I just keep going because that's how it would be. Yeah, you'd have to, because even if you kept going, actually looking at stuff, you'd be like, it's been months, like nothing's happening, or a week, or you get matches with people I feel like I'm not matched with. So I was like, it's a numbers game. So I just keep hitting the like, and then eventually when someone matches, you'll go through like, is this the right match? Is this not? So I found that, and if you didn't do that, like you keep spending the time, you have to spend the money so your profile gets shown to the top.
Oh,
for
really?
guys, yeah. And then they reel you in by saying, oh, pay this much money for this many credits, or user credit to get super boost or something. And when you did super boost, you're like, oh, I got more matches. So I saw that it was incentivizing the men to go pay. So then we'll start giving you the proper matches. And after a while, I tried it. There's a lot of times where the person was completely different than what they look like in their picture, or they use those Snapchat filters where the person just looks completely perfect, like an avatar, and then you meet them in person and you're like, this is not what you were. Like, I use my regular picture. This is who I am when you see me. It just, I didn't have good results or good expectations. Like I had a few like great friends or here and there type of relationships, but nothing that was serious. And after a while, I was just like, it's not working for me. I still am like you guys, where I believe in the universe. I was like, I'm going to keep working towards my goal. The universe will bring the right person to me at the right time, because there's been times where I'm like, should I turn this into a relationship? I'm like, my soul is telling me this is not going to work. I just want to hang out with them once in a while. I can't stand to see them more than that. This is probably not the way to go. I'm not going to lie to them and get them into a relationship just to say, so I can have some fun. I was like, it's not working for me. So I kind of gave up on that a few years ago. It just doesn't work for me. Yeah. But when I did do it, I would just sit there like, you just keep having the check mark. Like, yeah. And after an hour later, you're like, okay, that'll give me some results.
I do want to say that I'm throwing this out there to any of you that end up, the lucky lady that ends up with my brother. Yes. He has 2 sisters. So he's probably by far one of the most thoughtful, understanding, sensitive, caring guys out there. So anyone, whoever's going to be the lucky lady is going to be lucky, because we have engraved in our brother as sisters. Like when you go out out there, that girl, that female that you're dating is somebody's sister, somebody's daughter. So treat them with, respect and, and dignity, and be kind. And if your intentions are not where they think, because a lot of times, I'm not going to lie, women, we've all been guilty where you want to fast forward to the altar, now. He checks all the boxes. Yeah. I don't really want to dig deep and see, does he smoke? Does he drink? Does he have addictive personality? Does he live at home, shop? All that kind of stuff. We don't want to know the rest of the stuff, because when you see the image on paper, they check their box checker. Everything looks good. But I'm going to say is women, just pause sometimes, because it's so good to really get to know the person and take your time. And with my brother, I can't wait for the journey when, that special person in his life. But, this is what we've taught him, is when you go out there and date, just bear people's feelings
and be honest. I always tell Al, it doesn't matter. All women want is just honesty. If your intentions are like, hey, I'm looking for a 3-month fling, which is the new trend that most people are doing, just tell her that the right person will do that with you. And the person that doesn't want that will walk away. So just don't always be honest, and for men, if you're wondering about women, how to be honest, women are honest with their behavior. Just pay attention to their behavior. That's all you need to know. They will show you who they are. That you don't have to say, oh, I don't know if I trust her words. Just observe her, watch her when you guys go out, and you'll know more than you need to know.
Yeah. Oh, have any of you been catfished?
Catfish is when someone doesn't show up, or when there's somebody else,
here,
right?
I wrote this down.
Someone that completely doesn't look.
Okay,
so
I have a term. I'm going to explain to those listeners and viewers that don't know catfishing, because I was confused by it as well. Okay. So catfishing refers to when a person takes information and images typically from other people and uses them to create a new identity for themselves. That's catfishing.
Yes,
but they never want to meet you, or they keep making excuses to see you.
Yeah, that happened to me on the dating app. There was one really nice match, and he ticked all the boxes, all the right things, and I had a really bad feeling. So I was like, would you like to FaceTime? And he blocked me.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I've had people attempt to catfish me, but I'm an ex-journalist. Yeah. Like, we don't play that. Within the first time talking, this is when I was dating. Within the first, I would say, after you kind of talk, after you speak to them, by the second or third conversation, you want to at least face. If your schedule's crazy and we're not gonna get a chance to schedule a date till next week, at least let's video chat. WhatsApp has that feature. And if you're now hesitating to video chat, or when I call you or you don't answer a certain time, that was my red flag. I'm like, listen, you ain't gonna catfish me, because I'm gonna dogfish you. So nice try there. So that was that one. Yep. And I was ghosted. Yeah. I was ghosted. That was
yours is that's a big ghosting. There's levels of ghosting, so everyone knows. If you meet a guy online, if he doesn't show up the first date or something, that's a ghosting. Yeah. But when you actually date someone for over a year and have a serious relationship and they ghost you, that's like level 10, and you're a sucky human being. Okay, you're a sucky human being.
That's not a man.
Yeah, that's a coward. Yeah,
that's a coward.
Yeah. And the thing is, you met family members and everybody. You built relationships, and the biggest thing is, and I didn't realize the term ghosting, because I'm like, they took me out and bought me a bunch of stuff for my birthday. Do you remember for my birthday? They spent almost, I think, a couple $100, maybe, because I didn't go and buy something for my birthday, and they just kept harping and saying, I want to take you out.
He's very generous.
Very generous. Yep. Yeah. And I just remember going on a mini shopping spree. They bought me a bunch of dresses, and then a week later, I don't know where they were gone.
That one was weird.
The universe punked me good. Yeah. And it's probably because I'm sure there were red flags there. And I was naive after I got through my divorce. I went out, and honestly, I took people at face value, because my upbringing is very different. Mind you, I have trust issues. We know that.
Mind you. And you also did go for someone, I think you turned 40, where I was like, I'm going to get myself a 30-year-old little spring chicken.
I didn't want to go on a date with this person, I'll tell you, because they were 6 or 7 years younger than me. Yeah. My colleagues at work were egging me on. Go do
Good
it.
For you.
You should do it. Like, a lot of times they're mature. Look at the age gap between me and my wife, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, when a woman is older, it's a plus. I'll tell you that much, because women have wisdom here. Mm-hmm. Men, I don't care. A man could be 50. They're still going to act like a 30-year-old.
Yeah. So, and I'll tell you my experience, the older that men get, they're not nice. Like, they're really angry when, like, if I can tell you how many times I've heard, not just on the dating app, but if I'm sitting on a plane talking to somebody, this is the standard line I've heard in the last 3 years. And I'm tired. Yeah, my wife left me. Yeah. She's she's trying to take half my money. Yeah, I've got a lawyer. And the aggression, I'm like, okay, can I move my seat, please? Yeah. If I can tell you, Al and I were on a plane. Remember the guy from Texas complaining about what his wife has done and all the bad things. And we're like, so what are you like doing in this relationship? He was like angry of us today, holding him accountable for you chose a woman like this and you're choosing to stay with her.
Yeah. I think with that situation, I'm not going to harp on it too much, but I laugh at myself because you have to learn to laugh at yourself in situations like this and say, what part of me drew this into my life? I think the other aspect was, and if I can shed some light to those of you that do date, I don't think there was an element of desperation from me, because I think men can smell desperation. Yep. I think what was happening with me was maybe a little bit of neediness. I was missing something, obviously, from my previous relationship. I don't know what. I still can't pinpoint what the reason was for giving this individual a chance, even though it went against everything that I didn't want to date. But I got ghosted. Were there early signs? Absolutely. I got punked by the universe. And I think that really, that naivety that I had coming from, people are honest when you date. And the other reason I took this individual at face value was because they're a fellow Indian. I'm like, a fellow Indian's not going to punk me. Oh, any other nationality might punk me, but I'm going to take this individual at face value because I met their mom as well. And they were a mama's boy. So I'm like, there's no way I'm going to get punked by this mama's boy. But girl got played, girl got ghosted, and girl can laugh about it now. But I claim my power back.
Good for you. It was a good. Everything is a life.
It's an experience.
Learning experience.
So
oh my god.
At the end of it, I'm like, online dating is not for me. So I got some stats, and I want to go to Al. I want to see, Al, if you agree to any of this stuff, and we're going to come back to Al because I want to get some more of your perspective for the younger generation. This whole dating, social media, online, like how we can help them navigate and really find love, because I think the reason there's so many unhappy and single people is because all of these stats, they're true. This is what every one of you out there is doing, or someone that's doing this, and we're not checking them. We're not holding them accountable and saying, you know why you're not finding love? Because you're doing all this stuff. Yep. So first and foremost, here we go. As I said before, over 53% of Americans fabricate parts of their dating profile. Now, these are going to be stats on dating, and then I have some catfishing stats. Now, today, this is from Psychology. Psychology Today reports that 1 in 2 people exaggerate or lie on their dating profile.
Okay.
That's pretty big. Okay. 54% have seen a profile where they think the person lied. That's even worse. The common motivations for catfishing are revenge, loneliness, and boredom. Yeah. Everyone. Yeah. And all these things are going on right now in the world. So catfishers are commonly compulsive liars. They have low self-esteem, and they have been abused or did the abusing. So that's really interesting why they don't want to visually reveal their identity. Over 28% of online daters have been contacted in a way that made them feel harassed or uncomfortable.
Yep, that's me.
And get this, guys, this is really alarming. More than 51% of online daters are already in a relationship.
Ooh.
Whoa, what?
Yeah. Yeah, and this is from datingadvice.com. You can check these stats. Yeah. More than 51% of online daters are already in a relationship.
I think it's maybe they don't care about getting caught, or they know that they're in a relationship that's going downhill, and they're like, well, before I leave this person, let me find myself a backup person.
Exit strategy.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't have to go through the hurt and the pain. I can just basically transfer it to somebody else.
I'm sorry to say this. Those are very weak people. If you're someone who cannot get out of a relationship and be on your own for a minute before you need to jump in it, you need to do some reality checking there. That's something's wrong. You don't like yourself. That means you don't enjoy yourself. And I say that because I was that in my 30s, where I jumped from one relationship. I said, I gave myself the 6-week timeline of being on my own, and I jumped right back into a relationship right after. And there was consequences for my actions. So take the time and get to know yourself and date yourself, because when you know yourself, you'll know what's good for you and what's a good match for you.
Yeah. And the other thing is, we talked about this here before, right? It's an exit strategy.
Yep.
You're looking to just get out out and be needy. And I'll tell you right now, a lot of times we settle when we do things like that because you just cling on to the next person to relieve the pain, or I want to be in a relationship, or you're scared to be alone. You're doing yourself a disservice, because the more you date out there, you're going to find quality. You're going to find someone you click with. And there's nothing worse than getting locked and loaded with someone. And then 5 years down the road, you have the temptation, I'm going to cheat on this person. Like, I just settled too quickly.
Yep.
Take the
It's
time.
not fair to the other person.
Exactly, because you're abusing them as well.
You're bringing your pain and dumping it onto them and hoping that they're going to bring you the happiness and fix all your issues.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When you haven't done the work yourself to go fix yourself before bringing that person into your life.
Yeah. The sole source of your happiness should come from you, not from anyone else. I got some more stats, you guys. This is a really good one. So women are more likely to lie about their age when they're dating.
You know what's funny is when I joined the dating app, I had a friend at the time and she had said to me, make sure you put your age below 40. And I was like, why? She's like, you're not going to get any matches. And both her and Ashley, a guy friend, they both said, we have no matches. That's a lie, ladies. I have over 300 matches and I put my real age. Don't lie.
Good.
Don't lie.
Be authentic. Be you.
Yeah.
But you know what? Guess what men are more likely to lie about?
Their height.
Yeah, I've had that too. Men own your height. Own your height. Because every time they said they're 6'10", I met them, they were 5'9", 5'8". Or the ladies, the minute you see 5'10", even 5'10", 99% of the time, they're 5'6", 5'7".
Yeah.
I told you that.
I noticed. I go, oh, he looks really nice. His picture, he's handsome. I'm like, he's 5'10". And then she's like, let me look at him. She's like, he's not 5'10". This guy's 5'7" or 5'8". I was like, what? She's like, always minus 2 inches off there.
Or
I'm
at
like,
least 3. Yeah.
what? Like, I remember learning that and being like, oh, so every time I match a guy, I'm like 5'9". Okay, so 5'6". Nope.
And
Like,
ask them their height. Ask them their height. If they hesitate, then you know, oh, you know what? Yeah, I'm 5'10".
That's like,
I understand.
I'm 5'11". I'm not 6 feet. People think I'm 6 feet, but I'm 5'11". And I'm not going to tell people I'm 6 feet.
Yeah.
I might be 6 feet with shoes, but I'm 5'11".
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. But you're more closer to 6 than you are to 5'7", right? But the ones that write the 5'10", I know, because you don't want to say 5'11" or 6 feet. So anything under 6 feet, when it came to 5'10", I'm like, this person's not 5'10", they're 5'8". And I caught that when I was dating. But guess what men are more likely to lie about other than their height? Their
income,
finances,
their
money.
Because
Money.
I've seen it too myself. The guys that put their flashy stuff and do the standard stuff on it, they get all the girls that follow them, because girls look at, I want financial stability. So that's what the guys have to lie about, because there's so much pressure on a guy to say, I got to provide a certain lifestyle.
Can I tell you the matches that I actually get with those guys who are sitting in front of their car and flashing and I like take you out, I swipe X.
Yeah.
Not interested in the flashiness. Not interested. No, I'd like
that to me is like when you're like 25 years old. That was the kind of pictures you put on because you just wanted to get the quantity.
Well, actually, one of my matches, our Dr. Shiv was looking through my matches and he was like, that guy's wearing a Rolex. And I go, what? I didn't even notice it. He's like, look at the picture. He's like, that's a $35,000 watch he's wearing. And I'm like, okay. He's like, you should match him. I'm like, but I'm not attracted to him. He's like, so you make yourself attracted to him. It's like, no, I'm not remotely attracted to him.
That's what's wrong with the girls. I was like, well, I don't really like him, but he has money, so I'm going to end up.
That's not me.
And I'm not wondering why then I would all this unhappiness.
How do you know it's an authentic Rolex and not his brother's that he borrowed for a photo, or it's one of those?
And I didn't even notice that like he was posing like this, or I didn't even realize that was it, because I just looked at his face and I was like, I'm not attracted to him.
Yeah. You know what else is cheese? Is everyone taking off their clothes. Like, guys, put on and the beater shirts. Why are the beater shirts in?
No, but you know what? I was talking to a friend of mine and I was saying to him, I'm like, how's your matches? And he's like, not good. I was like, yeah, all the guys don't wear clothes anymore. He's like, well, you know what? None of the ladies do. I have hundreds of matches with girls. I have bikinis on. So if they cannot wear clothes, we don't have to wear clothes. I'm like, okay. Yeah.
This is why y'all are single. This is what's happening, everybody. We want to help you. Just be authentic. Put some clothes on. Lead with the mind. Lead with this.
If you make a guy work for it more, he'll want you more.
Yeah. Eventually, that guy that has a 6-pack, I can guarantee at least 90%, he's going to have a dad bod one day. Like, he's going to have the dad bod. Let's be real. That's
not always, though, because if he's into fitness, he's going to maintain that.
That's why I said 90%.
But like, if he has to lead with that as his front profile, because I do have a picture of a guy who's fully just wearing jeans and he's ripped and he's really shredded and he's posed. But I can see the kind of people that like that person. It's not going to be me. I don't want to be. You're screaming for attention.
He's going to get the women, but he's going to get a certain type.
Exactly.
He might just want that look.
Exactly.
So each to their own, though.
Okay, here we go. We are narrowing down the stats, everybody. And I have one final stat as I close off. This is a catfishing stat, and this was based in 2022. how many millions of dollars you think was lost to catfishing? So remember, this is like identity theft, people screwing people for money or playing a different identity, but they got away with this.
Say $50 million.
Geez, really? I don't know. Who gives money to people when they meet them on the internet? I don't even know who does that.
And you know who's more than likely to be catfish?
Elderly.
Men are twice as likely to become catfishing victims compared to women.
Wow.
Yep. And who in return are 50% more likely to be a catfishing perpetrator?
Women.
Okay. 533 million was lost to catfishing in 2022.
Oh my God.
And that's what's disclosed. You don't know what else was not disclosed.
Yeah, mic drop. So with that said, we're going to close this segment. No wonder no one's got no love. No wonder people can't find
self-love. It starts with you loving yourself, and then you exude that energy.
Because people are busy catfishing, ghosting, lying on their dating profile. Everyone is doing anything and everything but to be authentic and but be themselves to find love. And this is
I want to add one thing. When you start a relationship off with a lie, it's going to end with a lie. Just remember that.
Wise words, Rose.
Mic drop.
Wise words. Okay. We can't unfortunately drop these mics. They're very expensive.
Thank you, Oprah.
You're welcome.
Okay. Now this was a fun episode. We can probably bring this back because I had a whole list of questions and we just kind of got like carried away with our stats and we got excited, but we wanted to really bring the stats to your attention because these are shocking, like these type of things. So just make sure that you're not the victim of any of these things. And if your intentions are pure and you're looking for love, try and get some of your friends or your neighbors or someone to, old school way, recommend someone to you. I'm a big believer in that. And honestly, pray hard to the universe because that does work too. In closing, we are going to now sign off. This was our catfishing, dating, and ghosting episode from your favorite trio of siblings. Until next week, friends and family, please think about your win of the week. We're going to be back again. If I can ask you to please hit that subscribe button if you liked any of our content, and just hit the subscribe button because we're so cute as siblings and we want to continue to do this. We're in it for the long haul. So until next week, please take care of yourself, stay safe, and we're so excited to grow on this journey with you. And thank you for allowing us to grow. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.